Alfred Wegener was a German scientist born in 1880. He is best known for his theory of continental drift, which changed the way we understand the Earth's continents. At the time, most scientists believed that the continents had always been in their current positions, but Wegener thought differently. He suggested that millions of years ago, all the continents were joined together in one large landmass, which he called Pangaea. Over time, Pangaea slowly broke apart, and the continents drifted to their current positions. This idea was very controversial when Wegener first proposed it, but later, it became one of the most important discoveries in earth sciences. Wegener started his academic journey by studying astronomy and physics at the University of Berlin. He was a very curious person, and he wanted to understand how the world worked. After finishing his studies, he went on to become a meteorologist. He worked for many years in Greenland, studying the weather and climate. His time in Greenland gave him the opportunity to observe the Earth's atmosphere and its changes. He loved exploring new places, and his work as a meteorologist allowed him to travel to remote and icy regions, which he enjoyed greatly. However, his passion was always with geology and the study of the Earth's physical structure. Wegener began to think about why the continents seemed to fit together like pieces of a puzzle. He had noticed that the east coast of South America and the west coast of Africa looked like they could be joined together, as if they once were part of the same landmass. This observation led him to wonder if the continents had been connected in the past and had drifted apart over millions of years. Wegener's theory of continental drift was first published in 1912. In his book The Origin of Continents and Oceans, Wegener argued that the continents were once part of a supercontinent called Pangaea. He believed that Pangaea began to break apart around 200 million years ago. As the land separated, the continents moved to their current positions. Wegener provided several types of evidence to support his theory. One of the most convincing pieces of evidence was the similarity of rock formations found on different continents. For example, there are similar rocks and fossils on the east coast of South America and the west coast of Africa, which suggests that these continents were once connected. Wegener also pointed out the similarity in the shape of the continents. If you look at a map, you can see that South America and Africa seem to fit together like a puzzle. Wegener thought that this was another strong piece of evidence supporting his idea of continental drift. He argued that the continents had once been part of a single landmass, but had gradually moved apart over time. Another important piece of evidence Wegener used was the distribution of certain plant and animal fossils. For example, fossils of a plant called Glossopteris were found in South America, Africa, India, and Antarctica. Since these plants cannot survive in the cold temperatures of Antarctica today, Wegener believed that these continents must have once been much closer to each other, and were later moved to their current positions. Despite all of this evidence, many scientists at the time did not agree with Wegener's theory. One of the main reasons for their disagreement was that Wegener could not explain how the continents actually moved. He suggested that the continents were pushed across the Earth's surface by the forces of the Earth's rotation, but this explanation did not convince most scientists. They believed that such movement was impossible, and they thought that Wegener's theory was too speculative. As a result, Wegener's theory of continental drift was largely ignored for many years. However, Wegener did not give up. He continued to work on his theory, collecting more evidence to support it. He argued that the movement of the continents was very slow, taking millions of years to make noticeable changes. Although Wegener's ideas were not accepted in his time, his theory of continental drift became the foundation for the development of the theory of plate tectonics later on. In the 1960s, new scientific discoveries and technologies, such as seafloor spreading and the study of earthquakes, provided the evidence needed to support Wegener's ideas. Scientists discovered that the Earth's outer shell is made up of large plates that float on the semi-fluid mantle beneath them. These plates are constantly moving, and their movements explain why continents drift over time. The theory of plate tectonics, which was developed later, showed that the Earth's surface is not static, but is in constant motion. This theory provided the missing piece of the puzzle that Wegener had not been able to explain in his time. Although Wegener's theory was not widely accepted during his lifetime, it is now considered one of the most important contributions to the understanding of Earth's history. Wegener's ideas led to a revolution in the study of geology and helped scientists develop a much better understanding of the Earth's processes. Wegener's work did not only have an impact on geology, but also on other scientific fields such as paleontology, climatology, and even biology. His theory helped scientists understand how continents were once connected and how they separated over time. It also explained why certain species of animals and plants are found on different continents. For example, similar fossils of dinosaurs have been found in both South America and Africa, which supports the idea that these continents were once part of the same landmass. This discovery also helped scientists understand the history of life on Earth. Wegener's contributions to science were not limited to his work on continental drift. He was also a very skilled meteorologist, and his studies on the atmosphere and weather patterns helped improve our understanding of climate and weather. He published many papers on the topic and conducted several important studies on the Earth's climate system. One of his major works was on the polar vortex, which is a large area of low pressure and cold air that surrounds the Earth's poles. Wegener's research on the polar vortex helped to explain many weather patterns that occur in the northern and southern hemispheres. Wegener's life was cut short in 1930 when he died at the age of 50. He was in Greenland at the time, conducting meteorological research, and it is believed that he died from a heart attack. Despite his untimely death, Wegener's work continues to inspire scientists around the world. Today, his theory of continental drift is a fundamental part of the field of geology, and his contributions to the study of the Earth's history have had a lasting impact on the scientific community. In conclusion, Alfred Wegener was a brilliant scientist whose ideas changed the way we understand the Earth. His theory of continental drift, although controversial in his time, is now considered one of the most important contributions to the study of geology. Wegener's work laid the foundation for the development of plate tectonics and revolutionized our understanding of the Earth's history. Even though Wegener did not live to see the acceptance of his ideas, his legacy continues to shape the scientific world today.